Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day today. Today I want to talk about Bloodied Commando builds. To show you what mine looks like, kind of hopefully explain why you see a bunch of people running around with low health and a bunch of radiation. So I'll get into that, discuss my recommendations, what I use personally, a beginner build, and an advanced build. But also, can we hit 400 likes on this video? I only asked for 50 last time, but you guys got close to 300, so thank you a ton for the support on that. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video. So a bloodied build essentially refers to a low health build. People call them a bloody build because of the first star legendary effect you can get on weapons called Bloodied, where, as you can see here, damage increases as your health decreases. So that's why people call it a bloodied build, and that is one of its main selling points. You can do extra damage, not only from this damage increasing legendary star, but also because of a mutation that I'll show you just a moment here. So as I just mentioned, here is that mutation that I mentioned. This is the Adrenal reaction serum. As you can see here, it pretty much does the same thing as that first star legendary effect on the weapon. The lower your health, the higher your damage. There's also some other mutations that I use with this build that I'll cover a little bit later when I go on to give you my recommendations, but just wanted to discuss this and the bloodied weapon effect because that's kind of the basis for, the bloodied build. So as far as acquiring the mutations that you want, you're going to have completed or gotten to a certain point in the Enclave questline. But once you do that, you can come over to the White Springs, just south of there. There's the White Springs bunker. Make your way all the way down over to the Science Wing, and come over to this Modus terminal here. And under the aid section, you'll have a various number of serums. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can kind of skip that whole quest line if you want. A lot of player vendors will sell serums. They'll sell the plans for serums. If you're having trouble finding it, vendor hopping, make a looking for group post if you're on Xbox and ask, if someone can sell it to you. Check on Discord or check on, the various Fallout 76 Reddits. I'm sure you can find somebody willing to sell it to you. So because you're probably wondering, but the reason why people that run bloodied builds use radiation to lower their health is because it essentially lowers your total health pool versus, let's say I damaged myself without radiation. I would hit a stim pack and then it would heal me back beyond that, under 20% health threshold that I want to live at to gain the benefits from unyielding armor and gain the benefits from the bloodied weapon effect and the adrenal reaction serum. So, a lot of people use different things to keep themselves irradiated. I personally like to use a gamma gun to just shoot at the floor. Some people like to use glowing blood. Anything that gives you rads can help with this. There's also a radiation barrel thing you can build at your camp that you get from doing the radiation rumble event. But that's kind of the basis of how we keep our health low and why we do it. If we didn't use rads and just damage ourselves, anytime we'd hit a stim pack or healing items, we would heal back up beyond that 20% threshold that we want to live below. Next thing I wanted to talk about is going to be the type of armor you should be running, especially if you're going for a, VATS Commando build. Definitely want to be running unyielding armor. Unyielding is the first star legendary effect you can get on non-power armor. Essentially what that will do is it'll boost all of your special stats except for endurance when your health is low. So as you can see there, currently plus 3 stars. That's because my health is below 20%. But this is very important because if you come over to stats, you can kind of see all the things that this really buffs here. Strength is directly buffing my melee damage, my carry weight, perception is buffing my VATS accuracy, charisma is buffing my selling and buying prices at vendors, intelligence is buffing my XP gain, agility, affects the number of action points I have, and this is a really important one. If you're able to achieve a luck stat greater than 33, you'll be able to crit every other shot while you're in VATS. I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. As far as going about and getting yourself some unyielding armor, you're either gonna have to get it from random drops in the world, so definitely go to those public events to guarantee some legendary drops for yourself. Radiation Rumble is a great one. Eviction Notice is a great one. Another good way to find yourself some unyielding armor is to actually player hop or vendor hop at player vendors. A lot of people, such as myself, will hold on to their unyielding armor and sell it in their vendor for sometimes reasonable, sometimes expensive, depending on the vendor. But you'll be able to find unyielding armor at player vendors. It's one of the most commonly sold armor types in the game. So the mutations that I've decided to run, you can see here, the most important one being that adrenal reaction one, and I would say the herd mentality probably are the two most necessary ones if you're trying to do the most damage possible. So adrenal reaction, as you can see there, does more damage the lower your health is. Bird bones is a good one to run, increases your agility, essentially in turn buffing your AP that you can use. I went with the carnivore serum, so I can't eat any, I don't get any benefits from veggies, but I get extra benefit from meat. Mostly for me, that's because of the carry weight bonuses related to that. Eagle Eyes is good to increase perception and critical damage. Egghead for the extra XP gain. Herd mentality is very important. As I mentioned, you want to try and have over a 34 luck. So the fact that you get +3 to all of your special stats when you're grouped or on a team, that will help you get over that 33 or higher luck stat threshold. Obviously, marsupial serum is great to have to jump higher and to have that carry weight. And Speed Demon for faster movement speed and reload speed. So I'll give a breakdown of two different build types here. The first one I'll show is a beginner/intermediate build. This one does not rely on any legendary perk cards except for one, and that's going to be maxed out luck because we want to hit that 33 or higher luck value to crit every other shot. So here is the special stats for that if you want to copy it down, and I'll go through the perks that I have selected and talk through my logic as well. So, as you can see here, 5%, I'll just go right down the line here. Since this is a Commando build, we're going to be using assault rifles. We want those to weigh less. So I took 2 ranks of Arms Keeper, 2 ranks of Bandolier to keep the ammo weighing less. If you're using a railway, you'll realize pretty quickly how heavy the railway spikes are, so this helps keep that weight down. And then just 1 rank of Traveling Pharmacy to reduce our chem weight. Over here, I have a couple different ranks of the various Commando perks as well as the Tank Killer perks. So, Commando, Expert Commando, and Master Commando. Tank Killer, we're going to want this for the extra armor penetration. And Concentrated Fire, we're going to want that so we can target enemies' specific limbs or weak spots when we're using VATS. Endurance, I got Life Giver to increase your total health pool, which is very helpful when you're, trying to work with a low health. Since Bloodied is based on percentage health, we want our actual health to be as high as possible. So that way, our 20% that we're working with is as high as it can be. Radical here increases your strength. The greater your Rads, since we're using Rads to keep our health low, helps increase your carry weight. And Fireproof, if you don't have this on, you're going to die pretty much instantly from Molotovs, Flamers, explosions, things like that. So definitely make sure you're running that. Strange in Number, this one's also very important as well. The reason that is since it buffs the positive mutation side effects. Since we're running the Herd Mentality Serum, which gives you extra special stats from being in a team, you'll actually get more points in luck if you are running Strange in Numbers and you're on a public team with people that have mutations. Most people, over level 150 to level 200 will have a mutation, so it's pretty easy to get that buffed. And then we got 3 points in a Tenderizer here to increase our damage. The next very important perk here is going to be Nerd Rage. As you can see, this essentially was designed for Bloodied builds. You get extra damage resistance, more damage, and AP regen when you're below 20% health. And Gunsmith, the Railway Rifle, which is my primarily used Commando weapon, breaks pretty quickly, so we want to make sure that we're running Gunsmith to slow that down. Action Boy, since we're using this build in VATS. Born Survivor, to heal yourself. Since you're going to be low health all the time, you want to make sure you're able to be healing yourself. Gunfu is just a kind of a quality of life thing. It will switch between enemies after you get a kill. And Through Hiker to reduce some of our food weight, since I like carrying food buffs. Now, the most important tree I'd say in this build for VATS crits it's going to be the luck, so make sure you're running a maxed out better criticals, maxed out class freak, maxed out starch genes, so that way you don't lose the mutations that you've gained. Serendipity, I mean, this one essentially just gives a chance to negate damage completely. And then good with salt to lower the weight. Like I said, I like running food buffs. Or sorry, not to lower the weight. This will help food spoil slower in your inventory. And critical savvy. This one is very, very important because it keeps your crit meter full. So this, in addition to having that 33 luck or higher, is going to get you the crit every other shot. And I mentioned earlier, the only legendary perk card I'm running is luck. This is essentially mostly needed to get over 33 luck. There is ways to do it with different types of clothing, or if you get lucky enough to get an unyielding armor and then also like a +1 luck armor, that can do it that way too. But for the purposes of this video, just make sure you start spending all of your perk coins on maxing this card out as fast as possible. So here is the advanced class that I use. I mean, I'm level 730 plus, so I have some legendary perk cards that are maxed out, and I've kind of gained different preferences as I've been playing the game. So here's kind of a look at the special stats for that, and then here is the perk cards that I have selected. I'll kind of talk through some of the differences. But first, I just want to show you I have all of the legendary perk cards selected as a special point to increase all of my categories except for one, by 5. So it gives me a lot more special points to play with and, have a lot more perks equipped. So as you can look here, I have a bunch more weight reducing perk cards on here. Barbarian's a great perk to increase your damage resistance. As you're low health, having a higher damage resistance will help you stay alive. And then I also run Ordnance Express because I carry a metric crap ton of Nuka-Nades on me for farming West Tech. That's a video entirely, by itself, but I carry a lot of nades, so I need to be running this perk. Maxed out Traveling Pharmacy, and then I also carry heavy weapons on me when I want to use those, so I use that. Perception is essentially the same here. Endurance, though, I do run Chem Resistant and Chem Fiend. Just so I can hit chems like Psycho Buff or Psycho Tats, Overdrive, stuff like that. Charisma, I use Inspirational because I like leveling up, so get some more XP from that. And then also Traveling Agent to spend less caps when I'm fast traveling. I have maxed out Gunsmith on this one, and then I also have Portable Power because I carry a couple power armor chassis on me. Agility, the only difference here is I have a maxed out Through Hiker, level 3 Adrenaline, and I run Evasive as well. This helps you gain extra damage resistance as well to help you stay alive longer. And Luck, I essentially run the same thing here. So some of the best weapons you can get as a Bloodied Commando critical / VATS build, it's definitely going to be the Railway. You're going to want, if you can, to try and get a quad, because the mag size is only 10 if you don't have quad. Then having the critical damage, second star is also a huge help when you're doing critical damage in VATS, so that increases your damage. The third star in this one's kind of a wash, but the important part is having the quad at the top there, and then having some sort of damage buffing second star like crit, explosive, or also having like a weapon speed as well. That's a great one. And then the third star, great one to have, would be like reload speed, VATS charge, or less AP cost. Another great option for a commando build is going to be a handmade rifle or a fixer. I also recommend having these be quad if you can. Similar guidelines for the other stars as well. Weapon speed, crit, or explosive are great options. Like I said, the fixer or the railway are going to be your best options. I'll leave a link in the description on how to get all three of those weapons. But with that, that's kind of everything that goes into my Bloodied build, and now I'll kind of just showcase you how effective this build and these weapons can be. Alright, so we've traveled over to West Tech here to fight some super mutants and kind of just showcase how this weapon and this build can do here. As you can see there, I'm critting pretty much every other shot. I'm 2 to 3 shotting pretty much all of these enemies. They stand absolutely no chance against this railway. But yeah, the Bloodied build's kind of insane. But if I had a bunch of them shooting at me at the same time, you know, I could probably die. That's the trade-off you get. But we'll move on to fighting kind of a larger, tankier enemy and see how we do there. All right, so we've fast traveled on over to Sunrise Field to kind of fight a tankier enemy here, and that is the Mirelurk Queen. So let's see how we can do against the Mirelurk Queen with our railway. And she's dying pretty quickly here, and look at that. In less than 30 shots, we have taken down a Mirelurk Queen. So this can be a very, very effective build, as you can see. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something today. Next couple videos I got coming up, I got another tip video coming out soon. I'll go over my heavy build. And then from there, what do you guys want to see? Let me know. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.